and I see this guy in like a chair, like getting makeup done. He has like all makeup all over him, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell who that is, whatever. Like he looks like Avatar like type guy. And then Cole Bennet just like walks right by me in his like freaking Birkenstocks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. I'm like, what? I'm like freaking out in my head. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, how am I here right now? And then the guy in the chair that had all that spray paint was there.
We're live. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to the Boothe, baby, episode 19. I just threw that out there, but I'm pretty sure I got that right.
I don't know. We've done so many at this point. I'm lost, but
I mean, no, dude.
I don't remember, honestly.
It feels so good. Like how many that we've gotten done so far.
It's
really cool.
I was looking at our YouTube the other day because like I think we just hit like 150 subs or something.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. But I was looking back at like our old videos and just the old setup and everything and just the way we talked and how many times I think I said the word like it was crazy, and it's so cool to see how much we're growing, and it's always fun.
Dude,
still growing.
Mine now is like, I've noticed I say like a lot, and I'm gonna be working on it, guys. So how you guys doing? How's everything been? Me and Matt, if you guys can't tell, for the people that are watching, for the people that are listening, me and Matt got molds today, and I don't know if it was a mistake.
Let us know.
Yeah, comment below if you think that this is not so fresh. But I don't know. I'm kind of liking mine. You don't like yours?
I don't know if I'm gonna keep it, but it was the first step. You know, I didn't finish the haircut. I just got to do the back now.
Yeah,
I told him to do half the haircut.
I think it looks good. Your hair is getting long.
My hair is really long. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I trim like the sides and the back a little bit, but
you
I don't know. I was thinking about shaving my beard. I don't know what's going on. Just caveman still. Enjoying it.
It looks good though.
Can't complain. Life's been great. How about you?
Everything's been good, man. Everything's been good. Just grinding away. We're trying to get that car done outside. It's taking forever.
Dude, that looks... I have not seen it in person until just like when I walked in a little while ago. If anyone has not seen this car, go on his YouTube or Instagram. I don't know what you've been posting it on TikTok. Everything.
Yeah, everything.
It's mind blowing.
Thank you, bro. I
Sharpie on the Tesla. He's wrapped.
No, Posca. Yes.
Yeah. What am I saying?
Yeah. We're trying to get the what is it called? The sponsorship. Yeah. They gave me a shout out. They gave me a shout out on their Instagram. So hopefully I could just keep getting those shout outs and maybe eventually get a sponsorship by them. That'd be really cool.
I think you will.
Manifest.
And you're working on your brother's room too.
Yes.
That's coming out sick.
Yeah, that is coming out really dope.
Crazy.
Maybe we'll link some pictures. How are you doing though? How's life?
Yeah. No, it's been great. Again, like just working, enjoying living life and flowing. Like I always say, like. Keep saying like now. Thanks. But no, seriously, I've been great. I can't complain. I encourage everyone to go outside and start their day off with something motivational in a sense. And like we always say, get the balls rolling and get everything going in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
Because it really makes a difference. I've been doing that a lot lately, like getting up and staying on top of my flow, and every now and then I'll have one random morning where I sleep in a little bit more and like I don't do it as productively, and my whole day is like just doesn't feel right. Yeah. So I encourage people. That's the one thing I've been taking out of my last little hiatus is like get what you have to get done, but kind of enjoy doing it. Kind of go through the flow with it, and don't get so caught up on the obstacles.
And I think that's a really important step because like especially when you're facing so many like adversities in life, and like even like if you want to chase a dream, like having a good mental foundation is like the perfect place to start. Definitely. To like start getting after that dream. What were you about to say?
Oh no, nothing.
You're just gonna touch on that?
Yeah, that. But also, I was just gonna say like what I've been up to. It's not really changed since the last podcast. But, I went out to David Israel's gym.
Yes. Shout out David.
Yeah, just wanted to shout him out for a second. You know, like the guys that we have had on the podcast, they're doing their shit, and like,
always.
It was awesome to actually experience the gym and just go out. I've been working out every day, and
it's bro. Fun. And you know what? Speaking of chasing dreams, bro, making them come reality, our guest today has got a pretty cool story that he's going to come in and tell us about. So let's introduce him. In the booth today, we've got a man who's battled countless adversities, but that hasn't slowed him down from chasing his dream. Here to talk about his leap into the music industry, we've got Quintin Betancur. Oh my gosh. Wait. My bad, bro. Oh my gosh. Dude, for some reason,
it was a good pause. It was anticipation.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Thank you. I appreciate that for you going easy on me there.
I was like,
I should have practiced it a couple more times. Betancur.
yeah, Bentacurs. It's actually funny because I was on a set the other day of an actor that was terrible at acting, not to compare him to you. But they were telling him, try a pause for this line. And he tried and he was like, do you? And then everyone was like, the whole set was quiet. And it was like, and I was like, and then he finally said the line and they're like, all right, cut.
Oh my God.
That reminds me of that Borat scene, like the knot joke. Have you guys, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I love Borat, bro.
Okay.
You said you never seen it?
I've never
Thank
seen
you
Borat.
for
I get shit
saving
all the
me.
time for
Dude,
no, you can
oh
curse
my
on it.
God.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
One of the funniest movies ever made.
That used to be like the go-to hockey
Dude.
movie that everybody would watch
That's
on road trips and stuff. I haven't seen it in a long time though.
That's a classic. We gotta throw that clip up or show you later. But like they do this long dramatic pause there, and it's probably exactly the same scene.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's actually
So what's going on, man? How you been? How's life?
Life has been kind of weird lately. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I came back. I was in LA for like a month, and I came back because I was just like going through some like kind of relationship female stuff, and I was just feeling really stressed out. My stomach started like turning on me. I had like days where I was like really sick, and so I just booked a flight home, literally in the middle of the night. Booked a flight home. And came back, and I just, since I've been here, I just been around just like my family and just been like on a strict diet and like positive thinking, and you know what I mean. And then I go back Wednesday, but no, it's I'm not gonna say I made a mistake, because you know what I mean. Like, I'm trying to get in this thinking where no mistakes. You know what I mean?
Everything happens for a reason.
I don't know if you guys seen the Panda movie.
Kung Fu Panda?
Kung Fu Panda.
I'm just nailing the movie scene, boys. I got everybody.
No, because they say in it, no accidents in Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I saw that like 2 weeks ago. It was like legendary to me. I was like sitting there like, no accidents.
Yeah.
But so I'm in this thinking, like, even when I feel like I do make a mistake, like everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't be here right now if that didn't happen. You know what I mean? So,
and this like huge transition, I kind of want to try up a little bit different, something a little bit different today, because usually we go right to the past, but I kind of want to touch on a little bit of what's going on right now in your life, and then we'll kind of take it back and we'll go to the original story of how that began.
Right.
So like you flew out to LA, so let's dive into that a little bit. How's that?
It's good. I mean, I've met some amazing people out there. I met Renard Sharon, who's like the most, I mean, he's top 5 like most like massive impact on my life. And just like other artists like I met out there, and people, and just connections, different people in the film industry and stuff. So it's been going like amazing, you know what I mean? But still there's like those little obstacles. Like, it's so funny because friends have been reaching out to me, and they've been saying like, how are you doing? And I told them recently, I was like, it's kind of weird. It's like interesting. Yeah. And they're like, but you look so happy. And I'm like, what? On a social media that you only post good stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, everybody, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. A lot of great things go on, but a lot of like bad, like,
and what is
negative.
And what does that look like out there? Like, what are you up to? What are you doing?
So I'm working on film sets right now. And when I'm not working on film sets as like a part of the camera crew, I'm just doing that right now, just kind of like to keep afloat in LA. And then while I'm not doing that, I'm writing music, creating content with Sammi. And then I'm actually coming out with my own podcast.
Let's fucking go, baby.
It was nice talking to you, podcast.
And what is it going to be called?
It was nice talking to you.
Nice. I love that.
I like that. It's brought to you. So it's all inspired by my dad. My dad is like number 1 most influential person to me. But my dad just always like made fun of me growing up, and I would be with my friends and stuff, and he'd be like, oh, what are you talking about? Whole lot of nothing. So that's always what he'd say. So I'm starting a network. Yep. It's called WLN. And it's
Wait, what do you mean by network?
So it's basically, I just want a platform to distribute all my content. So the YouTube page, the Instagram page, everything is called WLN Network. And it stands for a whole lot of nothing. I'm just calling it a network because I feel like WLN sounds like
I like the
NBC.
network.
You know what I mean?
I like
Definitely.
that.
But the plan is for one day, I can find people that I believe in, and I can create with them, and then I can distribute everything that they need through my network. You know what I mean? But that would be the ultimate plan. So it's the WLN network. And then another thing my dad always says, if you like lose if you lose interest talking to him for like 1 second, he'll always go, "Oh, that was nice talking to you." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I named the podcast. It was nice talking.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like I was going to touch back on it, but it sounds like you're still bringing this up, like family and surrounding yourself with these core groups and these top influential people that like you move out and you have surrounded yourself with. Mm-hmm. So like I've always been told, and like you always hear, like the people you surround yourself with is kind of like how you turn out. Have you found that to be the same case?
Oh, absolutely. I think they make you better for sure, you know. Definitely. But it's not, I wouldn't categorize it completely, like put it into that, you know, because I feel like when we do that, we limit us as people. Yeah, you know what I mean?
100%. Like dividing, making an actual definitive like situation there that actually separate it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like in that case, like the people that you find influential, you probably learn a lot from them, and that's why you try to surround yourself with 100%. These better kind of people.
They definitely can make you better. Like the people like Renard and Sammy and
shout out to Sammy
Sossa. Or he just changed his name. You guys know that?
Yeah, Sammi Sossa.
Okay, yeah.
That's his actual last name.
That's his actual last name. Yeah, because of the baseball player and everything. It was a good change. He needed to do it. I know we were trying to like think of the ideas and stuff, and he was like, "Dude, I just." You know what I mean? Like, I just want my name. Like, just my name. And
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And it was just like anything. It will just become normal.
Yeah. Everybody. And now I think this is a good time to maybe bring it back. And before we do, I kind of want to give a little... I mean, up till recently, you told me a story that you have worked on set with Cole Bennet. Mm-hmm. So before we get into that,
shout out to Cole Bennet.
Let's talk about the journey that led you to this like amazing opportunity.
Yeah,
so let's start back to when you were a kid.
1 year old.
Yeah, 1 year old. I mean, now you do have something that you have to say. That you want to touch on at 1 year old.
Yeah. So because I want to say like I reached out to you guys because I saw your podcast with Sammy and stuff, and I wanted an introduction into my podcast, and that I see you guys do a lot of like motivational stuff and a lot of like, so I feel like my story since the beginning has been perseverance. You know what I mean? So it was like, I feel like I always like had a lot against me, but it was like, especially as a kid, I became kind of used to it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Cause I had cancer when I was 1 but it wasn't like my cancer. It was like my parents, because they were the one that had to like go through it with a 1 year old kid. Definitely. But it was like I had a huge scar on my stomach, and I just didn't look like everybody else.
Do you still have that scar?
Yeah, it grew with me. It's like a big, it looks like a big like upside down smiley face.
Oh really?
But I'm like a sad boy. People used to always tell me like, looks like you got bit by a shark, and I'm like, yeah, but like, where's my dick then? Bit off my dick. It's the top of the thing. But so I just always kind of had it stacked against me a little bit, and I just didn't ever feel normal. And that's one thing that I want to preach to everybody is like, we're always, especially when I have been sick and gone through things, always chasing to be normal. I was always chasing to be normal, and now I'm like, fuck normal. Like, I hate normal. I don't want to be normal. Like, the last picture I posted on Instagram, I put anywhere but normal. Like, I don't want normal. I want to, you know what I mean? Like, because I was chasing that for so long. I wanted to look like everybody else and all this shit. So that's kind of where I am right now. But so, I went through that, and that was like, for a while I was good and healthy. And then high school, jeez, this is a lot. High school, because I've never told this story. Like, I've told it to my friends, but I've never like told this story like on a podcast or on YouTube. So in high school, I was dating this girl for a long time, and then I transitioned to dating like a different girl, kind of like back to back. And there was like a lot of drama in it, and it was just like a lot, and my stomach started like, I would go out to parties and stuff, and I would literally like have to throw up like every time. It was all stress related. So then after like 4 years later, after that, because that was like my senior year in high school. So after that, I was like good, but I wasn't good. Like, I would still feel those type of things when I would get into weird scenarios. So then I started really experiencing like bad symptoms. And in 2015, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. And it's basically just like Crohn's disease. If you guys know what Crohn's disease is.
Familiar.
But it like handicapped me. It was like, dude, I'm telling you, people, when someone looks you in your eye and tells you you have something that's chronic, like for life, like fuck that word. Like that word should be stripped from every book, like ever. Like they shouldn't be allowed to say that word. Like chronic is the worst thing you could ever hear when, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was like a lot. So I went through it for like 3 years, like ups and downs, you know, and I started coaching football during it to kind of like counter. It was like the only thing I could do was like coach football, because it was the only thing that would fit my hours.
And this was 3 years of knowing that you had this.
Knowing that I had
now,
it.
I can relate. I don't have what you have, and I don't believe I have Crohn's, but I did have like an ulcer building up my stomach when I was a kid. I've always had stomach issues, like my whole life.
Dude, gut issues are so
The worst.
popular. It's ridiculous how many people have gut issues.
Yeah.
My mom's gonna do she's gonna figure something out, because she like everyone she talks to has gut issues.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
But did that keep you from going out? Because it kept me, like I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't have dinner at places because the minute I had anything, my stomach, it became like a war zone.
Yeah, no, at times, but it was like, that's the thing. They put me on this drug called prednisone, which is basically a steroid, which is awful. Like if they offer you prednisone, take the lowest dosage possible to get by, like even if you're struggling. Because I was on prednisone for 3 years, like trying to wean off. I would take a large dosage and I would wean off, and then I'd have another like flare up back in the hospital, put me on prednisone again. Like my body was like addicted to it. So that was like the worst part. It'd give me nightmares, and I didn't get the worst of it though.
Jeez.
Like it would give people like puffy face and like bunch of acne and stuff, and I didn't get that bad, thankfully. But it was just like it was a lot. You know what I mean? So
it's a toll on your body, toll on your mental health.
Oh my, mental health.
And how did it look? Yeah, how did that look when you were going through that? How was the mental?
Bad, like really bad. Like because when something's going on like that, when pain is going on like that, you think it's forever.
Yeah.
Like in that moment, you think like that's the most popular thing with pain is like it feels like it's never gonna end. You know what I mean? Especially when you can't see the outcome. You can't see the end. You can't see the end of the tunnel. You're like, dude, like when there's nothing to look forward to, I couldn't make plans. My friends would be like, and this is when I'm like 21. So I'm like prime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to go out and you know what I
mean?
mean? Like, so, and my friends would be like, dude, let's go on a cruise. Let's go here. And my stomach would just like turn. Because I'd be like, I don't know if I can do that. You know what I mean? Like planning stuff was just hard in general. I'd have to just take it day by day. I would flake all the time on my friends, like all the time. And that was a big reason I didn't date anybody for like 3 years, because whenever I'd get close to a girl, I would always push her away, because I would be like, I felt pressure to like go out. I felt pressure to, you know what I mean? Go to dinners, bring her like I didn't want to hold like anybody back.
Yeah.
To be like quote unquote normal.
Exactly.
Like, you felt the pressure
like normal. And I should have just been myself and been like, look, this isn't me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not putting on a front. If you want to like be with me, you be with me.
Oh, for sure. And that's very courageous story to share, and like quite the story to go through. So like I'm happy to see it here and see you still going through it and seem to be doing better. But yeah, that it's hard. I feel like a lot of people struggle, not in the same sense that what you're going through, but the comparing themselves to other people and thinking that like, oh, I have to be this way because that's the normal.
Social media is the worst too.
And I was just about to say, it's funny you say that, because now you even look at the comparison where social media and the influential people are these famous social media stars, and that's who we're comparing ourselves to.
Yep.
And then even back to the point earlier when you said your friends like, oh, you look so happy. Of course I look happy on social media. I'm not going to post me
It's your best moments.
Yeah, especially as a guy too.
Yeah,
girls
especially
post vulnerable moments at times, and even they won't get as much likes as they do on a butt picture, as a vulnerable picture. You know what I mean? So
dude, it's crazy.
So it doesn't make sense for them to do that. And then guys is like, dude, like stop being a bitch. You know what I mean? Like that's
just
the perception.
get over it.
Yeah, like that is the perception.
And that really is an epidemic. Like it is an epidemic. Like even I found myself the other day. Like I was listening to Impulsive, one of his new episodes. And they had, I forget the kid's name, but he's like this big Minecraft.
I saw this little kid.
Dude, I'm
trying to be just like you.
Dude,
right?
I found him a year ago, but no, I saw like his like come up like a year ago when he had like, when he got to 1 million subscribers like that. And dude, I remember watching him a year ago and going, how the heck did this kid fucking do this? Like, what am I doing wrong? And like I submit in my head, it's like, what am I doing wrong?
I wrote a line one time, and it was deleting all my apps then, because all they really do is let me make comparisons. And that's like the true. It's like that, like, I'll go back to that line and I'll be like, dude, I wrote this fucking like 4 years ago, and look, it's like more prominent now. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy.
I find it such a contradiction myself, because like I don't want to, like, I'm posting on Instagram, I'm managing Instagram accounts, I'm running all these social media things, but I like, in a sense, embody the essence of like, don't do that, like, get off 100%. Your phones. Like, I know that's why if you're following and you ever see my stories where it's like, put your phone down, like, I mean that, like, I don't want you to 100%. Go watch the video right now, like, get off the phone.
I know my ex-girlfriend said that to me one time. So I was like, I fucking hate Instagram, and she was like, you post a lot on your story for hating it. Like,
it's like,
you
like,
know what I mean? I'm like, but I'm trying to like stay engaged. I'm trying to stay up on trends. Like, that's
it's hard. It's such a contradiction there.
Yeah, like our friend Jake, who's an artist, is always telling us that, you know what I mean? Is like, you have to stay up, like, especially as an artist, like, but like for Sammi, it's like, you have to stay up on trends. You have to stay up on what's new. And it's like, it's exhausting. You know what I mean? But
it sounds.
And networking too, like, people follow you and stuff. Like, you meet people at a party and they give you, you know, you connect through Instagram, and it's like, it's so powerful. You know what I mean? We should just fucking have LinkedIn and delete everything. Imagine, like, if we just had LinkedIn, no Facebook, and then you go and you just LinkedIn. You know what I mean? And it's like,
that'd be crazy.
And that, especially because we haven't really dived into, you know, the start of like your passion, like the role of like getting you to where you are right now. But you know, you said that you started doing you know, writing music, and like I feel like that is like, you really got to stay up on track, because you want to be writing like the best stuff. So like, especially for the artist, it's important. But if you're like a person that's helping the artist write their lyrics, like, you really want to know what's going on, and like 100%. What's the hot shit that what's the hot brands I can add into these lyrics.
Absolutely.
That's tough.
It's exhausting, and I was really bad at that in the beginning, and that was something that Sammi, I noticed about him, and he was making songs with, you know, like the top brands and stuff, like throwing in little lines about him and stuff, and I was like, damn, like, all my music's sad, like, I need to start, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's something that, like, I mean, there's no accidents in this world, and he's showed me so much is about like speaking with confidence. You know what I mean? Because definitely. In hip hop and in any music, I mean, even if you are saying something sad, speaking with confidence, and like, it just goes a long way in music. You know
it changes your whole persona
and life, I would say, just speaking with confidence. I was talking literally right before I came here at work, I was talking with a coworker, and I forget exactly what we were trying to figure out, but it was like, someone asked like, what's the most well-known like fake sugar or something, where's it derived from? And someone said something, everyone was like joking, and they were like, no, you just have to say something with confidence. And then like a couple of minutes later, I like turned around and I was like, well, actually, like, did you guys know that the most popular one is from like the bone marrow of like an elk? And everyone was like, oh wow, I didn't even know that. And then I was like, dude, like, I'm literally just kidding, like, I just was saying confidently, but it's true. Not to tell people to lie, but like, if you believe something and you really believe it, even if it's sad or it's different or it's not normal, like, say it, because like, put some confidence into it and say it with your chest, you know? Like,
100%.
People need to see that you're passionate about it, and like, even if it's not what everyone else is thinking at the time, like, I'm sure there's some people deep down like, damn, like, I feel that. And like, it doesn't matter if the mass doesn't feel it now. I feel like people don't need to build their niche sometimes, and then like that bigger crowd will come. 100%. But I still agree to like stay relevant and like stay in the topics, but I wouldn't say like change your whole vibe or anything to be someone else. Personally.
No. You shouldn't. You can take advice and you can take different pieces of people's stuff, but you still have to mix it in your pot. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, so, but yeah, like how you're saying with confidence, dude, I was working at Kaiser, and I'm like, I got put on the D line, which is the massivest guys in the whole school, basically. And I'm getting put in front of them and thrown right into it. And I've never coached D line before. And I'm like, have to sit up there and like saying things with my chest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's, it can, like, sometimes things can be intimidating, but you have to like speak with confidence. You have to be like, you have to be a certain way even if you're not feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's not necessarily faking it, but it's like to get messages across to people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Well, I mean, I think it does go a long way when there was I think we've talked about this on the podcast before. There was a dude that was really depressed, and like every single day for 100 days, he would go in the mirror and he would smile at himself. Or no, sorry, he's saying "I love you." My bad. He's going to the. So sorry, I got it mixed up. He's saying "I love you."
That reminds me of when they go like first day listening to Blueface.
Yeah. It's exactly like that. But he was feeling depressed, and like you see the first day, he goes to the mirror, he goes, "I love you," and then the second day, "I love you," and then a week later, "I love you," and then a month later, I love you," and then like the next thing you know, by the 100th day, he's going, "I fucking love you," like, dude, you're the fucking man, like because like when you constantly like putting on that act per se, your body will eventually like transition into being like I like this, like I'm starting to feel this and take this on. It's just like anything you do in your life, like if you're a hockey player and like you're doing hockey things, like you create that essence of being a hockey player. So if you're looking for happiness, if you can create that essence of what it's like to be happy, like picture in your head, what does a happy person do? How do they stand? Like, how is their face? How is their smile? How's their engagement with other people? You start doing those things, eventually you will become happy.
Yeah, 100%. I 100% agree.
I also almost feel like, to that point also, because I agree with you, but I also feel like you can utilize this, like when you were saying earlier that when you're feeling like, because I feel like everyone can relate to like depression and not compare it to other people's depression, but relate to like the term of being depressed.
Yeah.
And like you touched on something that I felt earlier, was like you almost feel like you're like drowning or you're lost, like you don't know where the light is or the tunnel to like get out of that depression. And I feel like reassuring sometimes and saying like, okay, I feel sad, but like this is good, or like I love you or whatever. It builds, it reassures yourself. It like gives you that hand to that light and like kind of redefines like, hey, there is some good here. And the more you show your body there's good, if you believe in energy like I do, or if you just believe in like whatever, it's just kind of facts that if you are gonna start telling yourself positive things, positive outcomes will happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If you say negative things will happen.
Yep.
I know.
Power of the secret.
Yeah,
Very
I was
true.
saying it the other day. I was literally saying to myself in bed, I was like, with time. Because time, you know what I mean? Time will heal. Time will heal you. The problems that you think today are the end of the world, guess what? Like, you wake up the next morning and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
So true.
Time will definitely heal you, and you gotta be your biggest fan. Sometimes you gotta talk yourself up.
Yep. So let's go back to, okay, so the 3 years that you were going through this, what was that transition out? What did that look like? What happened during that time?
So, and at this time, it was crazy because always in my life, I'm seeing successes, but at the same time, I'm like, my health was like up and down.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's like the same thing. People would see me and be like, oh my God, I saw you went from Santa Lucia's, you're coaching here, now you're at Park Vista and all this stuff. And I'd be like, yeah, but I didn't feel like necessarily that because I was struggling. So
Yeah.
I was getting like I was coaching in all-star games and stuff. And I was going to coach in the Florida-Georgia all-star game. And I was super sick. And at this point, I was dropped down to like 100. I was coaching football still. I dropped down to 125 pounds, and I sit at like 170, 165.
Jeez.
I remember one of my coaches, because one of my coaches didn't see me all the time, and so then he saw me, and he was on game night, and it was really funny. I'm not gonna say your name, but it was really funny. He goes, he didn't know necessarily I was like super sick, because he's not there every day, and he goes, Q, what is this? And I go, what? And all the coaches are in a circle. He goes, it's you in a headlock. And all the coaches, and this was when I was like bad, like that.
God.
And I started laughing because I just like enjoy like humor like that. I think that's funny. And all the coaches were like, no. And I'm like, guys, it's cool. But literally like a month later from that, I had to get like emergency surgery to get what they told me is my whole colon taken out. Wow. So I was like, I was floored. But at the same time, I've been going through this for 3 years. So I was like, I kind of saw the light. You know what I mean? I kind of saw that light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm looking up videos and it looks awful. You know what I mean? Like, so basically what I was going to have a colostomy bag, which basically you poop. You don't poop out your butt. You poop in a bag. I'm sorry, this is like the most explicit episode.
Nah, dude, you gotta share it.
Give it up straight.
You poop into they like take a part of your intestine and it's poking out of your stomach basically, and you poop into a bag, right? I would have that for 6 months, and then I would go into another procedure, which was like a 10-hour procedure to make me an artificial colon. And then I would still have the bag, and then I would go into another procedure to finish it because they couldn't do it all in one to finish it. And then I would, but even then, when I'd make the artificial colon, I would still be going to the bathroom like 10 times a day.
Okay, wait, before you continue on that story though, hearing this news,
hearing this news, gosh,
like what was going through your mind?
Well, I was super sick. I was 125 pounds, so I didn't want to be here in general. So I was like, anything, you know what I mean? I'll take, a lifeline. Like I felt like I was on The Price is Right or whatever, with How to Be a Millionaire. Like I'll take any lifeline, you know what I mean? You can throw at me. So yeah, so I was like, yeah, dude, I remember I have music that I recorded, and you hear me and I'm like, I feel good today, because I would feel like just like randomly one day I'd feel like, okay and shit. But I made a song that it sounded like I was talking about a girl, but it was talking about getting rid of my colon, me parting ways with my colon. Wow. And I say to it, I begin to the bag. Like thinking about it's money, but it's not money. It's my colon. It's my bag. I'm going to start shitting.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
And that's, you know what? That's really interesting, because now this is the second person that we've had on that had something major happen like this in their lives. And even Bobby was talking about how when he was in that moment, I would expect somebody to be like, holy shit, like I can't believe like now this is what's going on. But like he was the same way. He was like, just whatever you guys can fucking do to get me not feeling like this, get it done.
Well, that's the thing about humans, and I tell them all the time, is like, that's one thing I've learned throughout this, is like the best feature of humans is adaptation. Like we adapt. What would be impossible, cutting your legs off tomorrow. Like you see somebody that's an amputee, you're like, dude, I don't know how he could do that. I don't know anything. When it becomes your life, you adapt. 100%. And you know what I mean? Yeah. And you look at it like, wow, this is my life now, but what am I going to do? Am I going to sit here and say, why me? Or am I just going to keep it moving? You know what I mean? So
definitely.
So that's what I did. I just adapted.
I feel like that's a great thing, like, and it's a good thing. I always say, like, go with the flow, and it's like to adapt and be able to, like, no matter what life throws you might not expect it, but like, hey, you're either gonna die or you're gonna have to cut your legs off. You gotta make a decision, and you make that decision.
And it seems scary now.
It does, but when you're in that moment, you gotta do
your
it.
legs and you're healthy, and you know what I mean. Like, but at the time, I was begging for anything. You know what I mean? I was in a hospital bed, like, haven't eaten in like basically weeks. You know what I mean? Like my stomach was just terrible. So it was like, it kind of had to be done. So then a miracle happened. So a miracle happened, I didn't even say, with my cancer. I had a cancer in my a neuroblastoma, which is a tumor in my stomach, and they took the whole tumor out in one shot, and they opened me up for chemo, and then they came in and the doctor was like, I got the whole thing, he doesn't even need it. So that was like the first like kind of miracle.
That probably doesn't happen often.
No,
right?
it doesn't, because the in a 1 year old body, it was the size of an orange.
Wow. When you were one?
When I was one.
And they removed the first one.
The whole thing, yeah. So that was kind of like a miracle in itself. And then when I went in for the surgery, I went in thinking I'm not going to have a colon. I'm going to go through all this stuff. And they went in, and when I came out of the surgery, the doctor noticed that there was a large piece of my colon that was salvageable. So he literally goes in and he saves it. I'm still got a bag though for 6 months because my intestines have to heal. And he basically, like, he was amazing, man. Like, unbelievable. My doctor at the time, I won't almost say his name. I hate him so much. He's the worst doctor ever. Don't ever go to him. No, because I just have this like hate for this guy, because he's like,
the same one that did fix you, though?
No, not the same one that fixed me. Not the same one that I had for 3 years
prior.
Yeah, he wasn't a surgeon though.
Did he misdiagnose you or something like that?
He didn't misdiagnose me, but I just feel like he's just a glorified picture taker. That's what I feel like. He just goes in and does colonoscopies and then like points people to where they should go. You know what I mean? But God, I'm ripping this guy.
Should we bring him in now for the hot seat?
Didn't know he's actually here.
Yeah, so then it came out, and I was in the ICU for like 3 days, and I had a bag. Waking up with a bag, that's an experience.
That was the first time.
How did it feel? I think it's probably a weird question.
Well, so this is crazy. So when I woke up, like, and I remember the ICU was the worst because the ICU, you're hooked up to everything.
Yeah.
It's the worst. So I was there for 3 days, but the third day I was finally like up in my seat. That's why I got this tattoo right here. It says movement heals. Because that's what they used to tell me in the ICU. Like, you're going to get blood clots, you're going to get stuff. Like, movement heals. So, and Marissa too. Shout out Marissa Martinez. Yeah, Marissa Martinez. She's just became a doctor, and she also told me that too, and inspired me to get it. So there, I did. I told you. So
it's a great quote.
But I remember sitting in the chair, and I was reading a coaching book at the time, and I had my eyes closed, and I was saying, "It's gonna be a hell of a story. It's gonna be a hell of a story." Like,
and it is.
Fucking love that, bro.
If you have that mindset, dude, like that, this is the bottom. This is the bottom for sure, but it's gonna be a hell of a story. And when I got out of the ICU, though, I could eat, dude. They literally told me you have no restrictions. I hadn't been able to eat chicken tenders for 3 years. Wow. Like, I haven't been able to eat anything.
That was the first thing you ate?
Yeah, chicken tenders. Yeah, my mom's like...
Dinosaur chicken
my
nugget?
My mom's like looking at me like, no. Like, I have a video of me in my gown smiling, and I'm like, bacon.
Can we get that video?
Like,
can we get it?
I don't know.
Not right now. Like later.
Yeah, I definitely have it. Yeah, I look creepy. I look really weird because I'm like literally like bacon. Because my mom's sitting next to me, and I think I put it on them, and she's like, no. Because my mom for 3 years was somebody that was always harping on me like, please eat right, please eat right. So yeah, so in a way, when I did wake up with the bag, I was fucking floored. But I was happy because I was like eating, you know what I mean? I was like starting to like feel like me again. I wasn't like super, I mean, I was depressed, but I wasn't like depression is different when your body's shutting down. Yeah. You know what I mean? When your body's actually functioning, it's like you can still be depressed, like obviously, but I'm saying, and I'm not saying that regular depression is not as bad, but I'm saying for my case of depression is like, when my body's shutting down on me, the depression hurts more because my thoughts just go so deeper. Yeah.
You gotta know where to escape to.
Exactly. So I just started getting better. You know what I mean? I just started like gradually getting better, and yeah, and I started gaining more weight. I was eating like crazy because I didn't eat for so long, and
just eating everything or anything in particular?
No, everything. Yeah. Like I fell in love with chocolate. Like,
I was gonna say, do you have milkshakes or like that's what I do craving?
I would do chocolate, like just chocolate ice cream cups, and I would eat them back to back to back. Like I'm telling you, I would sit on this chair in my room, which was like a recliner chair type deal, and I would just eat all day, and play Fortnite. Basically all day, like, because I couldn't, like, I was like bedridden. I couldn't really do much.
And just to give an idea, how many years ago was the surgery?
Surgery was 2018, 2017.
So
I think I got
years
the
ago.
first one. Yeah, and then I got reconnected. I got news, and I think I have that video too. My mom called me out to the car because I had to go. So to get reconnected, I had to go visit my shitty doctor at the time and ask him, and I was like, and he checked me out, and he was like, and I had the bag at the time, and he was like,
let's take pictures.
Yeah. Bend over. No, but he was like, do you, like, what do you, here's your options. You can get the rest of your colon removed. Yeah. Like, I got another story to tell you. You can get the rest of your colon removed, or you can keep it, and it will be like a 50-50 chance that it comes back, like ulcerative colitis comes back. And so we did like colonoscopy and everything to see if it was healthy as the doctor said it was. And we went in for another one, and I was hype. I was like, oh, I'm just going to go reconnected. Like, because the surgeon told me, he's like, it's easier. Like, once you take it out, you can't put it back in. Mm-hmm. So you might as well try what is left. So I was like, all right, yeah, like, so hyped. And then I went in, and the shitty doctor was just like, I don't think you should do it. You should just take it out. Like, you should just take it out. And I remember leaving there, and I was crying, and I was like so upset because even though I hated this dude, he's a doctor at the same time.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, I was just so floored. But I remember in the car, and me and my mom were both crying on the way home, and I literally was like, fuck him. was like, fuck him. And my mom said the same thing. So my mom was really like, fuck him. And we were driving home. I remember making the U-turn. We were both in tears. I was like, yeah, fuck him. So, and it was like, yeah, so we didn't listen to him. And it just got reconnected. And now it's been 2 years and I've been good.
So you ended up going to another doctor after that?
No, I didn't go back to another doctor. Like I was supposed to have another appointment with him, and people have told me this, like you should go back to him. But I believe in like holistic stuff and like, you know what I mean, with eating right and doing the right things. And like I ran into this situation just recently, like where I put myself in the situation, like mentally, I got stressed out, my stomach started hurting, but I'm kind of fixing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm like eating right. I'm like doing the right things. You know, I'm not drinking. I'm not doing anything like that.
Probiotics.
Yeah, probiotics. Yeah. Like, so I make my like shakes for myself. And so it's like stuff like that is like really important. You know, like I feel like sometimes we hit like this end of the road where we think that the like Western medicine or just doctors in general is the say, you know what I mean? Like it's like what they say is right, but they're humans just like us. You know what I mean? They and another thing is like my doctor is they are getting a paycheck too, and they're going home. They're not thinking about you. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to be your doctor at times, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been good for 2 years.
Well, let's before we move on from that though, let's dive into when you did have, so you had the bag for how long?
6 months.
6 months.
6 months. Wow. Dude, I was going out, I was drinking, and nobody even knew. Dude,
where was it hitting?
It was right here on my stomach, and I would like tuck it in my pants and stuff.
What is it, taped up, or you tape it? Or?
No, it's like a sticky.
Okay. Okay.
So I went to a ghetto club one time, right, and they had a metal detector. So I walked through it, and I don't know, I set off the metal. Nothing was metal, but I set off the metal detector, and the guy pats me down. And I'm already drinking. I'm like, go for it, dude. And he grabs like on the bag. And I'm like, feast your eyes, bro. And he pulls it up and he's looking at me and like, I'm like, have a good one, man.
Oh my. Did he let you in?
Yeah, he let me in. Like, it was like, he didn't know what the fuck it was. He knew it wasn't a gun. Like, it was definitely the first one he saw that night. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had this like weird run-ins. You know what I mean? Like, so weird. Like,
people make fun of you?
Good making fun of though. It's like, well, like one of my coaches. How much can you curse on here?
You can say whatever you want.
One of my coaches used to tell me all the time when I would piss him off. He goes, "I'm gonna f you in your other hole."
Damn. Yeah, say whatever you want. That's crazy. So,
but yeah, I mean, like joking, you know what I mean? But it was underneath. I would wear shirts. Like a lot of people didn't even know. Only like the close people, like my coaches and stuff like that. Like only really people like that knew.
Definitely. So I feel like obviously I can't be the only one who thinks you have an amazing and crazy story again, and it's so awesome to hear. And I hope people, if anyone else is going through it, have gotten some words of wisdom. But have you used writing as like an escape, or like as like a way, as a platform, I would say, to kind of let your emotions out there? Or is it more of just like you've always been also into writing and it has nothing to really like coincide with?
Well, I've been in writing because I started writing like my senior year in high school. So it was kind of like around that time I started experiencing things like that, but with my health, but I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? And it didn't drag me down that bad at that time. But yeah, I mean, dude, I was making music like every single day, and I was skinny, couldn't do anything.
What does that mean though? You're just writing, or you recording anything?
I'm recording. I'm up, but like beats like that my friends would make, or like YouTube beats, just anything, because it was the only thing that made me feel like there was hope for me. You know what I mean? Like when I would make music, I would be my biggest fan. I remember I would go in my car and just drive around my neighborhood, like no shirt on, just blasting, people walk in, and I'm like blasting my music, you know what I mean? And just showing my parents and stuff. Like it was, at one point it was all I had. Like I had coaching, but even coaching would like be taken away from me at times because of my limitations. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
I mean, this could never be taken away from you.
Exactly. My music was like set in stone, and just the way my music, like, I just felt like I really had a gift with writing. Yeah. And to explore, when you really feel like you have a gift, when you explore it, it's like I don't know, it's so self-fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because when you believe in yourself and then you do something so great and then you like feel like you're right about yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's a very fulfilling, like really fulfilling moment. So I would have those moments even though I was like really sick and stuff.
That's dope. And you were working football coach at Kaiser.
Yeah. So then after all this, like I got reconnected and everything.
Yeah.
I was done, dude. I was like, I'm done with football. I'm done with it. You know, didn't make any money. I sacrificed a whole bunch of time. Like,
it's amazing to see. And it's like, it always touched back on like everything happens for a reason. And
100%.
even though there's bad things you can look and be like miserable or depressed about ending up coaching the way it went out, you can also be just as happy about all those good positive influences that you've gotten, everything you've taken away.
And lessons in coaching, like kind of in hockey too, like in football, it's kind of very similar. It's just an ultimate team game. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's about being a big thing that I learned was accountability through it all. Is like you have to hold yourself accountable, and like self-awareness is not to be delusional within yourself. Positive thinking and delusion, there's a fine line there. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will say that they're just positive and they're speaking things into existence, but they're really just like lying to themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I learned unbelievable lessons, and I wouldn't change it for the world. No, my whole journey, I would not change it for the world.
Mm-hmm. That's always good to hear, because like I feel like sometimes people get caught up in like, oh, I wish I could have done this differently, and then they're just like wronging themselves in that present moment.
100%.
But I feel like what you just touched on also, it's like, it's almost like, yes, you want to speak the right words, you want to say all the right things, but don't just be like a pen on paper, like philosopher. Like you need to, is what 100%. You're saying, you need to like embody, you need to go and do those things. And if manifestation and like saying like, I have all that stuff, I have the boards and everything, but at the end of the day, like none of it works unless you go and make it work. 100%. So that's like, you can't just say it, you have to like really live it, like embody it.
And that's a great point. But, and this might come out a little harsh, but it's just like everybody in this world has like something. Everybody in this world has something wrong, that like something happens to them, someone dies, or like they get diagnosed with something that could affect their whole lives. And like, just like the man sitting across me right now, like there was no excuses. Like, dude, you literally had every chance to be like, life will never work out for me, this and that. But like, and even when you got to those moments, it's like, no, you don't want to be here. Like, there's more to this. There's more to life. And like, this will not hold me back. Yeah. And like, it just goes to show you, like, dude, everybody's got their story, and it's just part of the story. It's just another chapter in the book. But like, we all have the ability to write that end. Like, what's that final, like, what's the climax of this story? Like, you all have the tools to make that the sickest climax ever.
It's all you just have to do it. It's perspective, and it's just like, just do it. Like, seriously.
Exactly.
We give you guys the tools. Like, people have given you the tools. You've learned through knowledge, through your life. Like, you can want a change, but you have to actually change. Mm-hmm. And knowing what you need to do is different than actually doing it.
Yep. Yeah.
And also, for everyone like struggling and battling whatever they're battling, like, I don't say these things like, oh, I'm perfect. Like I do this stuff and nothing, like I have bad thoughts. I go through all those emotions just like I'm sure everyone else does. But this is a practice, and it's a practice that you're going to do for the rest of your life. Like, it's not something you're going to, I'm going to journal and meditate and positive think for 2 weeks and then I'll never have a bad thought again. Like, that's not how life works.
Nope. You like you said, you got to make it a part of your life.
Yeah, you got to embrace.
Yeah. So it comes with you through everything. All that stuff comes with you through everything. It's going to help you through obstacles. But if you're just doing it to just change your life, like it's just going to change, it's not going to change. Like, that's the thing. Everybody wants results right now. Yeah. That's why everybody's a rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as rapping became as tangible as going on your Mac, you know what I mean? It's
Apple headphones.
It's like dealing drugs. It's like, it's easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's
or even YouTube.
The easy isn't always the best. And also, like, I'm sure that's what you're getting to also, but it's like, some people get really caught up in that like fame right away, whereas just build your craft, perfect it, like really, really work on like who you are as a person, and don't care about that fame to come, because I feel like that's when it really does, you know?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
100%.
And I think that leads us into your like life flip, like your switch, where you turn it on and like
where the fame comes.
You were telling me that you had a conversation with Sammi Sossa.
tree.
Yeah, Sammi came over, and we've been making music for like 4 years.
How did you meet him?
I went to high school with him. Yeah, I didn't like Sammi at first.
Oh,
like when I was a sophomore, and I know why I didn't like him. No, but I see it today.
Yeah.
No, but I was like a sophomore, and we like had a class together, and I don't really remember why, but we just like didn't get along. And then later, like around senior year, we like hung out, and then we just like kind of clicked, and then we started making music. But after high school, we started making music like I don't know, like it was while I was sick. I remember he came over, one of the times he came over that stood out to me was when I did have the bag, and I told him that I had the bag and everything, and bro, we were like tearing up on the porch. See, you tell a story about me tearing up, I tell one about you. But I'm saying like it was like, and we made music that night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've just always been kind of doing this, but just for fun. Not even this wasn't even Sammi Sossa yet. This was just Sammi. You know what I mean? And we just didn't know what we wanted to do with it. We were just enjoying it. It's the best times too. You know what I mean? Sure. When you're doing it that like,
because it's real passion.
Oh my gosh, yes. So absolutely. So then when I was at Kaiser, he came over and we were just talking, and he was like, yeah, like he mentioned it to me. He was like, you should be my ghostwriter, like joking around to me. Like we were just joking, but I was like, no, like I really like, I saw like, I should, like, you know what I mean? Like we should like collab on it. And yeah, that night we made, and one night we made Old Me, which was his second.
Oh, that's a hell of a song.
Banger.
Yeah.
His second one that came out. And yeah, and after I made that, dude, I went back into Kaiser and I was like,
no turning back.
Peasants. Yeah. I was like, went back in there with like a chip on my shoulder. I was like, dude, I'm so, like that day, I was so checked out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so checked out. Yeah. And then we just had a meeting, and the season was done. And we had a meeting about that we still had to come in there from 8 to 5 every day, and that we had to go on recruiting trips to Tallahassee and like a driving and all this stuff. And I let everybody clear the meeting out, and I just took the head could like stay behind. It's like, yeah, it's not for me. And then I left, and I remember calling Sammi on my way home, like, I did it, bro. Like, it's over. And he was like so happy for me. I was like so happy in that moment. I always say that. I'm like, happiness is in moments. You know what I mean? It's not a lifetime. You know what I mean? I think people get too stuck on like, I just want to be happy. Like you were happy when you got your Starbucks this morning. Yeah. You know what I mean? Awesome. Like you were happy. Like you are happy at times. It's just like not ever gonna be just you ride off in the sunset and you're just like happy forever.
They picture these big like movie moments.
I think everyone, dude, you put it in real good perspective there. I haven't heard it put that way before. That was really like spot on, I feel like. But like people think it's like the grass is always greener. Like, and I think it's the social media so much. It's like, this guy's this way, this way. Where it's like you just said, like you were happy 2 seconds ago and you wanted something in the future and you have it now and you're not happy with it because you want something else. It's like, be in those moments. And like I said, I was thinking the other opposite way, because like I was fasting the other day for Yom Kippur because I'm Jewish, so like I couldn't eat or drink all day. Thank you. And it's I learned this last year from a book, and I used it for the same reason, but I did it again this year, and it's like you can get through anything in one breath. So it's kind of like the opposite of that. It's like the good's in one moment, but so is like the bad, but you can get through it and you can live in it, but you're gonna have to keep living in new moments. So don't get caught up on anxieties that are keeping you, or depression that's like in the past, like bad scenarios that are like tying you down 100%. And keeping you depressed. And don't anticipate like all these future anxieties that are gonna come that you feel like are inevitable. Like just live in that moment and find something like enjoyable 100%. In it. Or if it's not enjoyable, find the obstacle that you can grow from and turn that obstacle into like a perception of like positivity and grow from it.
And recently, like, and I find, I mean, these are for the people that are, you know, you have a goal in mind, you have something that you're trying to accomplish. You guys know me really well. My mind's all over the fucking place. I can't stop. I can't stop. And like I have all these different goals, and I get really overwhelmed sometimes. And like nobody sees it. Nobody sees like when I get into the moments, like where the fuck am I even going? Like, I'm running all these different directions. And like I came across this YouTuber who I'd love to have on eventually one day, but he's come up twice, and it's one time I was extremely depressed. Like 3 days I spent in this room when this wasn't all here, and like I stayed in my room like pitch black dark, like upset for like 3 days straight. No one saw me, and like I was on the computer and I came across one of his videos, and like I watched it and it brought me out. And it came across the other day. The other day I was feeling like some kind of way, and I was on my computer, and it came across another video about being productive, because I feel like I've been running all over the place. And I came across this video, and we were watching it, and like he broke it down to like breaking everything down into small segments that you just accomplish every day. So like you just like once a day, like one thing a day, or like 2 things or 3 things a day, just like little things that it will accomplish to bring you to your goal. And it's like having these little tiny things that you can work on will eventually amount to something really, really big.
100%.
Yeah. There's this guy I watch on YouTube. I forgot what his name was, but he does and says the same thing that you guys have been saying. Like he mentioned the exact same thing you said about the Starbucks, like going and getting your coffee. That's like a huge win for him. Yeah. And he's happy with doing that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot what his name is.
I don't remember either.
He says like that's a win.
That.
He made it up.
It was him.
He wrote it.
I didn't steal that.
But original. But yeah,
Matt's trying to call him out right now.
It's the guy that does the Starbucks things where he's always giving away.
I'll show you my YouTube history.
Whatever, the guy, the Starbucks guy.
Yeah, he does shit like that. Yeah.
If you want to see my YouTube history, you can, bro. I don't got that in it.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, it's Charlie Rocket. I think his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he does shit like that, and like it's crazy. Like he'll say like, okay, like I'm going to get my Starbucks, that's a win for me, and then he'll get something else, and he'll do something throughout the day, and that's a win for him. And he just keeps building off these small wins, and at the end of the day, he's happy because he just did like everything that he wanted to do.
Yep.
It's just perspective. Everything that you think of, it's how you think of it. You know.
Exactly.
How you perceive it.
I think our viewers are really excited for this story. I am really excited for these two to hear it. But so you went to LA and you got to meet Cole Bennet, bro. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, explain this. Explain the events that led up. Like how?
Yeah, that was
people
crazy.
dream for this. People dream for the opportunity to go out to LA.
Dreams for
I
this.
dream for this. To go out to LA and like you get like just like some kind of like interaction with somebody doing something to either inspire you or even bring you up. Like those are really dope moments. So explain to our viewers and to us.
Yeah, I talked about actually having him on the podcast.
Yes.
He's like
That's
like
a dream guest.
my dream guest. Yeah, to have on the podcast. So
I gotta have him on mine.
yeah, there you go.
You sent him over to us.
Tell Sammy all the time. Like we were making a song the other day, and Sammy was like, "Man, if Cole like could shoot a video, this would be over."
Yeah, we talked about that.
I look at him and I'm like, and then I have him on the podcast, and Sammy goes, "You're just using me." But yeah, that would be a dream.
Might be the other way. You might be the one that links him.
Cole's, yeah, hopefully, so I don't have to hear the end. But yeah, so I got invited by a good friend of mine, Franklin. Shout out to Franklin. He's a director of photography, which is like the head of the camera crew on a music video set. And I just got an opportunity through Renard and Franklin, but
First week in LA, right?
No, it was like like the third week. Yeah. And I was actually having like a really bad day. Like I was going like through it with my girlfriend at the time, and I was on the way, and I was like on the phone with her, and I was like just stressed out about a whole bunch of stuff, and they didn't tell me whose set it was, and they were like, "You're just gonna be like helping out and stuff," and they didn't tell me. Really, they didn't even tell me it was lyrical. They didn't even tell me what artist or anything. So I show up to this house on this massive hill. I went all the way up the hill because it was like a nice ass house, and I go inside and I see Franklin. I'm like running things around for him, and I see this guy in like a chair, like getting makeup done. He has like all makeup all over him, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell who that is, whatever. Like he looks like Avatar like type guy. And then Cole Bennet just like walks right by me in his like freaking Birkenstocks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. I'm like, what? I'm like freaking out in my head. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, how am I here right now? And then the guy in the chair that had all that spray paint was MGK.
Oh my!
Nuts.
And MGK is like, to me, like it's insane because we used to, me and my friend Ellis Franklin, shout out to Ellis too. We used to watch MGK videos because MGK was like the first person to put everything on YouTube, and he called them Kelly Visions. And he was like just one of and we were in high school. We were like sophomores in high school. We used to watch him all the time. And he had this friend that his friend was named Dubbo, and they were rappers together, and Dubbo still raps. And I'm sitting. It was like while MGK and all them went out on the video was for. It was called Paper Cuts. I don't know if you guys saw the video.
No, I haven't.
You guys got to see the video.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
We'll
Video. But so while they went out like on a motorcycle ride for a shot, I'm sitting there and I'm sitting next to he's sitting where I was sitting around a fire pit, and I'm sitting next to Dubbo, and I'm like, dude, you're Dubbo. Like, you are Dubbo. And I said to him a line that was in a car freestyle with him and MGK when they were like just coming up in like 2011 or something. You know what I mean? And I said it to him, and he was like, oh shit, like dapped me up. I'm like, I texted Ellis. I'm like, bro, I just dapped up Dubbo. Like, I don't even know I don't know what my life is right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, so, and then we did like a shoot on Hollywood Boulevard and shit. And that's when I really got to meet Cole, because Cole was like thanking everybody, like thanking the crew. And he's dope. Like, Cole was like so nice. And he dapped me up, and they were like, yeah, he's a friend of Renard's, and he knows Renard. Like, he was like, oh, Rennie, they call him Rennie. And yeah, so that was the first time that I met him. And then I went on like the same thing. I did a Post Malone job.
Wow.
And that was crazy. That was done by Cole. And that's when I really got to like be around Cole, because we did like a little like after party and stuff. So I got to like be around him, and it was like really cool and a bunch of stuff. But the Post Malone thing was crazy because it's at a racetrack.
Okay.
So I go to the racetrack, and then all of a sudden, like, we're running around, we're doing a bunch of things, we're there all day, and all of a sudden everybody starts showing up. Like, they're like, Coil Ray's here. Then they're like, French Montana's here, Tyga's here,
Oh shit,
Ty Dolla $ign's here. And I'm like, bro, I'm running around, like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? And then they told me the last one was Big Sean. And I am a Big Sean stan. Like, my friends, like Gunnar and Nico and Shiraz, like, we're all like Big Sean fans. So I had to say something to him. Like, I was, of course, like, yeah, I was like, dude, I'm working right now, I'm not supposed to do this, but like, your music changed my life. Like, because, dude, I used to literally, when I had a bag, literally trying to walk around the hospital, I would listen to the song
Bounce Back.
No, not Bounce Back. It was on Hall of Fame. It was like one of his first things. Anyway, nothing is stopping you, and the chorus is like, nothing is stopping you, and I used to just walk around to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it was really the story that song is a story about how he met Kanye West, and he rapped to Kanye West, and it's like his, like,
That's awesome.
yeah. So it was like just a very motivational song, and I told him that, and he was like, damn, that's hard, because that's like one of, like, that's his early song. And yeah, dude, and I dapped him up a couple other times because I was like just saying like cool shit. I wish, dude, I had a bar written about Big Sean, and I wish I would have fucking, after it, I was like, God,
Drop it right now.
it was like
We'll tag him.
It's a good buddy bar.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
no, but it was like, I want to pick you up like infants. I want to see you snap. I want to pick you up like infants. I want to see you snap like poets. Sean Don had a story, and it really helped me through it. And like, and that would, bro, but it was like, if I would have fucking remembered that bar, like after I was like in bed, I was like, oh my God.
Wait, let's do that one more time.
No. I'm like, that's the worst. But yeah, so yeah, and then after that, that's when I got to like hang out a little bit with Cole and Renard. And Cole's such a genuine dude, bro. Like, I've been on 2 sets with him, and he's been the same. Like, I've been on sets with other celebrities, and I've seen them at highs, and then I'm seeing them at lows, which is expected. I'm saying, like, Cole, he deserves to be high and low too, like everybody does. But I'm saying, like, he's never, like, not never, because it's 2 times, but times I've seen him, he's just been so genuine, and like just with the crew. And Post Malone too. Post Malone was like saying, everybody, like, thank you for being here, everybody, thank you, you know what I mean? So it was
like,
really
congratulations.
No, but that was like a really, really, really cool experience.
That's actually so cool, bro.
How is
Yeah.
Sorry. So how is that like? Because I feel like, first off, I feel like when you're talking about music, you get like such this like aura and like passion. Like I feel like that really is like your new passion, or if it's always been like you can see it when you're talking about it.
My number one forever.
Definitely. And then like leading into that, has this kind of new moment and this new experiences redefined or defined like this is what I want to do, or have you always felt this way?
No, they defined it. It's just with music, I love music and I want everything to come from music, and I believe it will. It's just that I want to do so many stuff, so many things. Like I want to be like the Mexican Jamie Foxx. I told you that. Like, because I look at Jamie Foxx and he does everything, and I would love. I hate, and this is my new thing. I don't want to keep saying want. You know what I mean? I am.
Yes.
I will. Hate want. But I am gonna start getting into writing scripts, like screenplays and stuff like that. Like I will have a show like Dave, like the show Dave.
Great
like
show.
Because I go through some crazy.
Awesome.
Dude, he is.
Dude, awesome. I go through some crazy stuff in LA, like just weird, like really, really, really weird stuff. That's like. It has to be in
anything
episode.
You would like to share, like any crazy stories or anything, a little sidebar.
No, I just got into a funny situation where I was in LA. No, but just like stuff like weird situations that you get yourself into, and you're across the country. You're from West Palm Beach, Florida. You know what I mean? Like, and you're just like, dude, I'm halfway across. I'm across the nation. Yeah. And what, you know what I mean? And these are with people that are, I mean, everyone matters, of course, but I'm saying these are people that are relevant.
They hold a very significant
exactly.
role.
That like, that people know, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that you guys know. Yeah. Like I'm saying, so it just like stuff like that happens to me all the time where I'm just like, but I love those. I tell Sammy all the time, I'm like, I want to be always saying like, what is my life? Mm-hmm. I love saying that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even if it's bad. Like we ran into drama with someone over there too, like a big name and stuff. And it's like, same thing. It's like, what is my life? Yeah. Like what, you know what I mean? Like I was coaching football a year ago, you know what I mean? So I want to keep doing those, even if it's, bad or drama or this.
Dude, that's crazy. And like most people would be so nervous to take that leap, especially across country. Yeah. We can relate. We went to Alaska. Like we went, gone. And like, luckily for us, we both had awesome support systems from our family. What did that look like for you? Were your parents?
Oh yeah, that's the
especially with music. I feel like parents are wishy-washy.
So my dad has who's my inspiration. He's come from nothing and he's made a great life, for his family. And that's something that he's always been like into. Like he's always loved music. Always put us on music. Always, like if you go up to him, he could literally be in the worst mood in the world, but you go up to him and you say, what song do you want to hear? And he'll say a song from 1970, you know what I mean? Like he'll say just any song. Yeah. And he's also really good at like when he hears samples that they do today, he'll be like, that's this song. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, so
that's sick. They repeat the same song.
Yeah, he's just always had that in him, like so, and he's instilled that in me. And my mom used to be like a writer, like she would write like poetry and stuff.
So they were for this. They were excited for the move, or not necessarily for the move, but for the
they just always supported. Like my dad just always, and my mom, but my dad just always told me like music. You know what I mean? Like. It doesn't even like, don't worry about a plan. Like just follow like what you really, really love to do. And he knows that I love.
That's, you know what I mean? Awesome just,
to hear.
It's lucky to have. Like that's like really, 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 really cool.
I was with a guy the other day and he was like, yeah, my parents, like they don't support me at all. They think I'm a bum and stuff for like doing music. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how you can't live for your kids, Yeah. You can, I think if you think your kid's a bum, you should probably look in the mirror. Yeah.
You raised them. But how did it look when you came to your parents and you're like, I'm going to LA?
Well, yeah. So, but Renard was a huge piece to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because
he called
Renard, no, but he didn't call him. But I'm saying he had so much stability and he gave us a great opportunity and so many things where it made it seem possible. You know what I mean? But I stayed in LA for a month before I moved, and I was like, my parents like, when are you coming back? My mom was
Sammy, right?
Yeah. My mom was the one that was like, it was like, my mom's like my best friend. You know what I mean? Like me and my dad have a great relationship and we connect through music a lot, and I get a bunch of great stuff from that. But like my mom is more day to day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's like my best friend. So she was like struggling with it. You know what I mean? Because I have brothers and sisters over here and
family,
nieces and nephews and everything. And I was missing all these things. But also I think it was a piece where I was like, I didn't tell her when I was coming back. So it was like she wasn't comfortable with that. So she was uneasy at first. And then slowly but surely, like she started, especially when I started getting work too.
Yeah.
I started getting work over there. That's when she was like, okay, like this is more tangible. You know what I mean? Like, so.
If you don't mind me asking, it's maybe a little vulnerable. I don't know how much you want to speak on it, but how much money did you have going out to LA?
So that's the thing. For that month, I was struggling because I did not have a lot of money. But then when I came back here, I sold my car. I had a car here, and there was a time when they were buying like used cars for a whole bunch of money. So I
still are.
Yeah. So I sold my car. So thankfully, you know what I mean? That gave me, so this past month I've been okay, and then now I'm working, so I'm just building on it. You know what I mean? But yeah, when I was out there for a month, I was looking into the Uber driving, you know what I mean? And I'm a terrible driver. Like, I tell people all the time when they get in my car, I say, look, there's going to be 3 scares in this car. Okay. Just be ready for them. And then when one happens, I go 1, you know, and then, 2 more to go. So that way they don't like, cause I hate people that are like bitching at me the whole time. Like, you're a terrible driver. Like, I told you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, First man pulls up, he gets out of his car and he goes, I don't even know how to work this thing.
Yeah, because my mom just got this new like BMW, and this thing is like, I feel like, I don't know if you guys ever seen Smart House back in the day.
Yeah, I
never.
You've seen it? It's like this smart house where the girl in the intercom takes over the whole house.
It's on Netflix,
and that's how I feel like when I'm in the BMW. I feel like it's gonna start like taking over and driving for me. Like it's, I don't know, it's just like a lot.
He's got the car that actually drives for him, so it has taken over.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, I like my car super simple, dude. I don't need all that stuff. Like it's real. The simpler the better.
Dude, that's definitely.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, speaking of, because like it kind of leads me into like one of my questions. I feel like it's also because it's also just the way everyone perceives everything. So one question I always ask is basically like, how do you define success?
If I'm on my deathbed and I have this whole bunch of people that just loved me and didn't want to see me go and like all this stuff, I probably made like a lot of right decisions, because a lot of people like fuck over a lot of people in this life. You know what I mean? And when you live for a long time, like a lot of things go down. And like, so if I have a lot of people there for me, then that means that I was probably like a good individual. So that's like personal success.
Definitely.
Like in my career, success is if I just never cared about the money, then that would be success to me.
And just stay with the passion of like, this is what you love. If
I heard a beat and I wrote for somebody and I wasn't even like thinking like about the payment getting back, then that would be success.
Just being humble.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it would just be like, I don't want to work with anybody because I have to.
I love that. It sounds like in general, it's just like staying true to yourself and like having the right morals and like staying true to those at the end of the day is success.
Yeah, because a lot of people can have a lot of money, like a whole bunch of money, but be around the worst people, working with the worst people, and they're not happy. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I definitely learned that it's like you have to. A part of being success is about surrounding yourself with people that actually care about you and love you. You know what I mean? Because if you're not surrounding yourself around that, then it's not going to feel like good to you. You know what I mean? You always want to be around somebody. You write a lyric, you make a good show, anything, you want to call somebody up like, you know what I mean? You want those people around you. If you don't have those people around you, then you're in this hole. You know what I mean? So I think it's like a very, very important.
Definitely. And to that point again, that's why like you have all your support group. Why we always say like in this podcast, like we're here for you guys. So if anyone feels like they don't have that support group, like please reach out to us and join our inner circle. Come take a seat virtually in the booth with us, and like DM us if you need someone to talk to. Seriously,
and let us know if they're ever interested. Maybe like starting like a clubhouse or something like that. You know, like the app Clubhouse where like everyone can just kind of come in.
And just chat.
That's so crazy because, dude, I'm not lying to you guys. 3 days ago, or when I reached out to you, I was down. Like I was down bad, and this show like just giving me this show was the short-term motivation that I needed to pick myself up. And that's like something to say about you guys. You know what I mean? That you guys are a part of something. Like, is it making a giant impact? Not yet. Yeah. But it's making an impact. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like,
really
so dude,
seriously.
Because then I got the show and I wasn't feeling good, and I was like, but I have to feel good. Like, I have to build my body back up because I want to be on the show. You know,
I feel like you should keep riding this and keep riding this
100%.
wave.
This is, dude, I feel great right now.
Bro, and even when obstacles come, like don't let it crash your wave. Just kind of like build it and learn from what's gonna keep coming next.
And thank you for that, bro. Like, seriously, like that's
always great to hear. And it's humbling to hear those.
To make an impact.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Oh my god, yeah.
We talked about that yesterday. Me and CJ were talking about it. Like, people are reaching out and just saying like they love the show. So thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Thank you all of you guys.
Genuine.
Yes,
it's really genuine. Like, the questions you guys ask and stuff. Like, this guy wakes up too early for me, but I'm saying, like, the questions and the conversation you guys have is like, you're always trying to get the best out of your guests.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Out of everyone and ourselves in general. Like, we always say, and thank you again for the compliment. And I encourage you to get up early. I was not
and coach
I was not a morning person. I'm gonna say this forever. Anyone who knows me, my dad, my mom, my sisters, anyone who knows me younger, I used to sleep all day, like even recently, but like, it's hard. It's not easy to wake up that early, but it's just doing it.
It just depends on your schedule.
Yeah, everyone's different. And
sometimes
I guess
late
in the
nights,
exactly in the music industry, everyone's got a different flow, and that's why I say flow and routines. Don't do routines. But yeah, dude, thank you again for that compliment.
Yes,
we always appreciate them.
So before we wrap things up, I got one big question for you, and it's if you can give any piece of advice to anybody out there chasing their dreams.
Me to spit some bars or something.
Oh yeah. No, actually, I forgot about that. That's first. No. So yeah, if you give any piece of advice to anybody out there, what would that be?
Don't.
It can only be one word. One word.
One word.
No, joking.
Don't think that pain lasts forever. Like, that's one thing. Like, I was writing when I wrote some lyrics the other day, because I always write when I'm not feeling myself or down. I wrote that that pain always stains. You know what I mean? Why does it feel like that pain always stains?
You're bringing up a beat? I mean, you're bringing up a lyric?
No, I just want to.
All right.
Oh, I almost started playing that Sammi Sossa. No, I said, baby, I need Novocaine. Why's all hurt, all have to stain? Like, and that's like what I feel like. I feel like people get stuck in this illusion when they feel pain that it lasts forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So my one advice is, you're going to feel pain. Life is hard. Like, remember when they used to tell us when we were young, life's hard. Like, life's unfair. Yeah. And I'd be like, bro, I just want a lollipop. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're over here giving me life lessons.
Yeah.
And no, but it's the truth. Like, life is hard. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. You're going to feel a lot of pain. And that's in work. That's in the relationships. That's in everything. There's health. It's a million different types of pain. You know what I mean? So I think it's just important to not think that it's forever, you know, and that would be probably my best life advice. Is that
very enlightening, bro?
I love it. Yeah, so before we close this out, where can our people follow you?
Drop all the links.
People ask me this all the time. I'm like, I don't even know my own Instagram handle. Quintin _Betancur. I don't know. Do you want to spell it? QUINTIN _BETANCUR. And then, which I didn't even I touched on a little bit, the podcast. I'm coming out with a podcast. Yes. Brought to you by the WLN network called It Was Nice Talking to You. And that, I'm not going to set a date because you have two things in this world, your balls and your word. So I'm not going to guess one of those up. You know what I mean? Because we're still, we have to hammer it out with, but my first guess I will be able to say is an artist, Baby Jake. And he signed to Scooter Braun.
Awesome, man. That's exciting.
That is sick.
Yeah, so that's my first guess. But this is one thing I do need people to go do, because I just created this, is to go follow the WLN network. It's WLN _ on Instagram. Okay, I got 3 followers, my mom, my aunt, and my sister.
I'm about to have 3 more.
Okay. Okay, so
4 at the booth too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you guys could go do that, that's gonna be coming soon, man. And then of course, Sammi Nassar. I'm not even gonna say Sosa anymore. New music coming out very soon.
I'm excited for that,
And
baby.
Very good.
Let's fucking go. I can't
Very
wait.
good. Shout out to Mondo Music too. Go give him a follow. He's playing a huge role in that too. So coming out very soon. It's gonna be a good couple months.
Well, bro, it's been
No, I'm saying it's coming out before that, but I'm saying we're kind of building a little bit of a catalog here.
That's good.
Well, we're
you go.
excited. Build
Yes,
the hype
sir.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute honor having you on,
Yeah,
bro.
no, seriously.
Make
Thank
sure
you,
to go
guys.
follow him, guys, and make sure to give this video a like and subscribe.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace out, guys.